Support for the show can be you. Lux Media just relaunched the merch shop, and there's new stuff going up all the time. Go to shop.lvx.be, go snag yourself some threads. You can also go to patreon.lvx.be, sign up over there and get ad-free episodes and a 20% off shop discount every month. Ad-free, discounts. What more do you want? Seriously, what more do you want? Let me know.
Hello and
Welcome
welcome to
Alternate
f***ing
Casuals.
What makes you
fucking
casual?
it don't matter.
What you know,
Fucking
Let me do the intro because those are fun. Fucking ultimate fucking casuals. I said fuck twice. That's how casual we are. That's what we do. Nathan, Isaac, the homies have assembled. We're here to talk MMA. How are you guys doing?
Yeah. Doing well. Hope everyone is too.
Yeah, doing great.
Let's skip the Heineken Zero. I had one, and I was actually pretty surprised that it tastes very much like a Heineken. That was pretty much it. So in the news, we were just talking about it a second ago. Dakota Ditcheva, she was not included in this year's bracket, and she is unhappy with her scheduling. But turns out she has a fight coming up. Any word on who?
No, I think they've just said it's to be determined. But in July, she should be fighting for the PFL, in the World Tournament Series. So I mean, she was smiling, so I'm sure they've talked to her about it, and she's probably guaranteed a fight in July. But I mean, it was good on her. She's advocating for herself. I think that's probably a very good idea, especially considering what the PFL has been doing with some other fighters recently. But yes, she is fight secured this year, 100%.
Ugh. Not somebody you want to lose. PFL's been hemorrhaging talent, top level talent anyway. This is not somebody you want to let go of. It's easy to keep her just because women don't get paid as much as some of these aging stars do.
Yeah, I mean, PFL is going to end up being on life support if they lose a few more fighters or a few more of their star fighters, because it's rough.
I think the fact that do you think this inability to schedule fights is purely funding? They just literally can't afford to pay anyone? Or is it they're genuinely incompetent when it comes to actually scheduling?
I mean, I feel like funding sort of has to be a part of it, but I mean,
do they have anyone to pay?
Merge. This is the situation. They had a lot of fighters. I mean, Aaron Pico's now with the UFC. We had Patricio Pitbull now with the UFC. I mean, these fighters are coming over. Even what's his name, Usman Nurmagomedov. He's wanting to come over to the UFC. They're starting to lose all of their stars, and I mean, the PFL brand is already not it's not that well known. If you're watching PFL, you're probably at least somewhat an MMA degenerate. It's probably the pro box of. It's the pro box of MMA. Is what you could sort of compare it to.
That's actually a good way to put it.
They're starting to hemorrhage all of their stars. I mean, they're starting to lose them. And Dakota Ditcheva is a potential, star in women's divisions. I mean, everyone wants her to come to the UFC, but right now, I don't think she's advocating to go to the UFC. She just wants to fight. PFL just needs to keep her active.
At the end of last year's tournament, she said herself that she's locked in with PFL, and that she at that point in time she was happy with where she was, and now that was end of Q4 of 2024, and now here we are in Q2 of 25, and she doesn't have. She's finally getting something on the schedule that. Would be, I'd be pretty miffed too to be an elite talent and not getting fights
in her prime. Yeah,
yep.
This is when she should be fighting as frequently as possible.
Boo.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally got her a fight though. But man, PFL needs to They need to wake up. Is what they need to do.
So they've lost Patricio. I expect Patricki's not going to be too far behind.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see some more PFL signings to UFC, like in this year even. I mean, we'll probably see some more.
One bit, PFL Europe. They're already in their quarterfinals. I didn't even know they had their fucking first round. But set for May 10th for the lightweights in Belfast and May 24th for the bantamweights in Paris. The degenerates will be watching. Two thumbs. This guy. Fucking, I'll be there so that you don't have to. One interesting bit I read from Ilia Topuria was that he will sit. His words. He will sit and wait for Islam for a title shot. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I honestly, I'm gonna back to Poirier here because from the sounds of it, the UFC said if you vacate the featherweight title and not hold up that division, we'll let you go and basically get your shot at a double champ. And so he holds up his end of the bargain. He gets the belt vacated. And then Islam won't fight him, apparently. Like, that's what seems to be what's going on. Khabib's like, well, he needs to win first at lightweight. They're giving out, the normal, we don't want to fight excuses. And it's like, I would rather see Ilya fight, but, like, at the same time, I totally sympathize with him, like, deciding, hey, no, screw you, I'm going to get what I was promised. Because he gave up a lot.
He did. He made a big sacrifice for the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is where we start to get into the issue because, like, I can sort of understand it as well from Islam's perspective because he has fought and defended against Volkanovski now twice. He won those fights. Obviously, like, good fights and all. But I think he really wants, more than anything, I think he really wants just his shot at a, like, double champ status. So I think more than anything, like, I want to say it's not as much that Islam doesn't want to fight Ilya, but I think he just wants to get that. He wants that double champ shot like Ilya's gonna get, or like Volkanovski got. Like, he wants his turn basically. But I mean, like I said, I can see it from both sides because I agree with Ilya. He gave up a belt at 145. He should probably get a title shot at 155, especially after what he did at 145 against Max Holloway and against Volkanovski. So, I mean, I can sort of understand it, like, but it's a weird situation.
The problem I have with Islam's perspective is, like, yeah, I get that you want that double title shot, or the shot rather at being a double champ and holding two belts simultaneously. But you can't just sit on the couch and wait for the division above you to work itself out. Like, you have to honor your status as champion and fight who's next in line. Which, even if it's not Topuria, and let's say he should be fighting Charles or Arman Tsarukyan, and he's not fighting either. So it's like, if Islam was fighting against one of those two other guys and it was a regular title defense, I'd have way more sympathy. But the fact that he's just idle, is irritating. When because if you really want to just move up, well, just vacate your belt. Like, I don't know if anyone really cares about people holding two belts at the same time. Like no one really says, "Oh wow, that's impressive" anymore. Like, it doesn't matter.
I will say I think I saw something somewhat recently on Twitter. It was not Islam directly. It was Khabib and, like, the team. Actually, I think it was Javier Mendez, actually, his striking coach. But they were saying that, and this, if they actually go this direction, that would actually be insane, and it would probably infuriate the fan base. But they were saying that perhaps Paddy Pimblett should get the next title shot.
I have that on the notes for the 314 part. That upset me, to be honest with you, when I read that.
And if they go that direction, that is really bad. Like, that is, like Nathan said, if he fights Charles or Arman, that is completely acceptable. Like, I mean, those are valid title shots. But Paddy Pimblett, no. that is not a good title. That is not a good shot right now.
Definitely not. Last thing before we get into the fights, fucking Dana White. I'm wondering if this was like a politician's thing to say. He only has good things to say about the UFC's relationship with ESPN. I'm not sure if I believe him when he says that.
No, I don't either. That's definitely
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to scare off some other executive by shitting on,
The broadcast partner.
the current the current people, right? Because then some executives like, well, what are they going to do to me when I get into a relationship with them? So
True.
but I'm sure he has a lot of not good things to say, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Dude, ESPN has sort of been ass recently. Like pretty ass when it comes to UFC broadcasting.
Yeah, the
I think it's either
quality hasn't been
Netflix
very
or
good.
I think it's most likely going to be Netflix, at least for like the fight nights or like a portion of the UFC rights. But we'll
I
see.
expect they're gonna want. I think we talked about this during the Jake Paul Mike Tyson thing. They're gonna want another technical run at something pretty large scale, and like how does their native 4K broadcast scale upwards?
Mhm.
Because UFC is gonna have
Yeah.
a lot of people, and if you're charging them like $100 for a 4K pay-per-view, they're not gonna be happy when the shit doesn't work.
Netflix somewhat seemed to handle it, at least like when it came to the NFL. I know like the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight had issues, but like if anything, I think Netflix
They did that
can square away
Christmas
those
game,
issues.
right?
Yeah, and
That's
that
right.
went pretty smoothly, but I mean we'll see.
Well, that's all that I had for the news, unless I missed anything. Some quick stuff in the recaps before we get to 314. The bantamweight and the women's flyweights. Yes, flyweights. The PFL bracket. There's some actually pretty fun stuff on here. The Mando Gutierrez submission over Francesco Nuzzi was fun. Liz Carmouche fucking destroys
Yeah.
Ilara Joani.
That was a demolition.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Emergency replacement fighter Ekaterina Shakalova submits the seeded fighter Juliana Velasquez, who was a Bellator champion at one point. So that was pretty cool to come off the bench and get yourself a really big win.
Bellator stays losing these days. Even in death, it's just more piling on.
I think Liz Carmouche is the one holding it up. Wait, did she go to...
Yeah.
Was she with Bellator or was she with PFL? I don't know.
I think Carmouche may have been PFL. I'm trying to think if there's any Bellator champions because Bader lost too, right?
Yes.
Ryan Bader. Yeah, I think all the Bellator champions might just be like completely gone now. Which I think maybe the welterweight dude. No, I forgot. But yeah, it's in the trenches. That's for sure.
Oh, Jason Jackson, the welterweight guy. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got a good win. That was a few weeks ago. But hold on a second. I'm gonna cut this in. Support for this episode is from Ramen Bay. Ever have that ramen craving hit hard? You know the feeling. Sometimes you want that rich, savory broth and those perfectly chewy noodles, but you don't have time for all the fuss. Well, say hello to Ramen Bay. They've taken the best ingredients for ramen and freeze-dried them for ultimate convenience and incredible flavor. Imagine vibrant vegetables, flavorful proteins, and aromatic seasonings, all ready to rehydrate into a bowl of pure satisfaction. No chopping or long simmering, just add hot water and a healthy spritz of Ramen Bay. Because the ingredients are freeze-dried and vacuum sealed, they lock in taste, giving you a quick and easy meal that doesn't compromise on quality or flavor. So, the next time the ramen urge hits, don't forget Ramen Bay. It's your new, not-so-secret ingredient to a delicious, hassle-free situationship anytime. Hit up the Bay for ramen and chill at ramen.lvx.be or use code LVX10 at checkout. Get yourself 10% off every order and help us out a little bit when you do. That's Ramen Bay. ramen.lvx.be. Right there, just because I know 314, we're going to be here for a minute. So at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida, from the bottom up as usual, Nora Cornoli. She's French, but she still won. Anyway, submits Haley Cohen in the second. Trayshawn Gore stoppage in the second over Marco Tulio.
Other way around.
This fight.
Oh, I didn't. I typoed. Sorry.
Trayshawn was the one getting TKO'd here.
Yeah, that's right.
This fight was sort of insane. Tulio was like, this was a masterclass performance. His striking was so clean. I mean, Gore just got ran. Like I sort of want to look at the punch statistics. Like, let me actually check it out. Hold on. Oh my God, yeah. Okay, so Tulio landed 140 strikes. Trayshawn Gore landed 17. That is an insane differential. And I mean, Gore, to Gore's credit, he's tough as shit. He ate a head kick, and then he wasn't completely gone, but he was like significantly staggered by it. But Tulio, man, this dude's a menace. And Trayshawn Gore, he's coming off this like really nice submission win. I forget against who, but it was like a really nice a really nice choke, a standing choke even. But man, Tulio did not give a shit about that. He just ran through him. A great win. I'm gonna watch out for Marco Tulio now. Very fun fighter.
Moving up, Sumu Derji, split decision over Mitch Raposo. Congrats. I had this one backwards as well. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, I think it is, stopped Cedric Dumas in the first. I think Oleksiejczuk moved to the Fighting Nerds.
Yeah, it was weird as shit because he's Polish,
right? And
he was sitting there with a glass. I'm like, why is this dude wearing the Fighting Nerds glasses? But yes, he is a part of the team.
Good for him. The Fighting Nerds stay winning. Fighting Nerds versus Bellator. How bad do you think Bellator gets swept?
Fighting Nerds on a sweep right now. They might sweep all of Bellator. Maybe.
Moving up into the prelim portion, Julian Erosa stops Darren Elkins in the first. Trying to remember if this was anything crazy.
I mean, it was just like a brutal fight. Elkins took like an insane amount of damage in this fight. It was a pretty dominant win for Erosa.
Oh, speaking of dominant win, question mark, Chase Hooper over Jim Miller.
What's his name? Chase Hooper definitely won, but Miller put up some nice resistance that, I don't know, it just seemed like Hooper couldn't completely figure out. I mean, it went to decision.
It was like one-way traffic, but it wasn't very fast in that direction. So Hooper was basically winning most things, but like you said, Isaac, there's a lot of resistance coming back from Jim Miller. Kind of a good vibe check to see where Hooper's at in his career right now. I think he was something like 1-3 or something at lightweight. Comes down to featherweight, and he's on like a 4-fight win streak now. So I think he looks good. I think he's got the goods, but he's not quite, he's not ready to fly up the rankings yet, right? Miller's a good test point to see, like, if you're special, like, that's what you kind of have to be, that type of guy to beat Miller, because Miller's really good all around, right? You have to have some special attributes to beat someone like that.
Super experienced. I mean, you can look at the odds before. I mean, Chase Hooper was a minus 750 favorite, and I mean, while he did win, I mean, he won. There's no controversy about him winning. He didn't really win like a minus 750 favorite.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I meant. Like, if you're gonna like style on a guy like Jim Miller, you got to be special. Like, that's
exactly, yeah.
And I think the fact that he won is still good, right? He still looks like a good fighter, but I don't know if he's special per se. But I mean, he is moving in the right direction. He should have won that fight, and he did.
Yeah, it's still forward progress. It's still forward progress, but I think it's slightly slowed down from like the hype from what it was prior to this fight. But I mean, still a win. Still a win.
Maybe slow down the train a little bit.
Yeah, slightly.
Trying to think where in the Fight Sports laundry is he? Ironing? Still on the hanger?
Jim Miller said he wanted to make it to UFC 400. I don't think that's happening. But he said he wanted to make it.
Wish in one hand. Moving up, Verna Jandiroba, third at strawweight, beats Yan Xiaonan first. Is Xiaonan done at the top level? Because I kind of feel like she is. Like Jandiroba was just too aggressive. The hunger was there, and she wanted it more. Whereas Xiaonan seemed to be kind of marking time a little bit. I'm not sure. Nate, start me off here. What do you think? Is Xiaonan still in the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely off of the immediate title contention because, I mean, she had basically zero success in this fight. But, I mean, the division's shallow enough to where, she could definitely still land okay, get back on her feet, get some wins. But, I mean, this was talking about getting torn down off of the contender spot. I mean, just she had absolutely nothing in this fight for Verna.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this, the women's strawweight division is, Jan may be back, but I mean, bro, she was completely outclassed by Jandiroba. Like, I don't know. This is just, it was like a pretty bad loss. I mean, she could be back, but she's like at least two wins away from getting back to the title shot. But I mean, we'll see. This division is sort of weird because we sort of don't know where Wei Li's gonna go. I feel like they're trying to get her to go up to fight Shevchenko, but we'll see. We'll see.
There is also an element of this is why MMA has evolved away from just being a specialist, right? You have to be well-rounded. And Xiaonan had no ground game, right? Looks great against most other people, but then runs into someone with an elite ground game and gets, just smashed.
Yeah.
If you have to be in this modern day of MMA, if you want to be good for a long time, you have to be well-rounded. You can't be great at one thing.
Yeah, I mean, we see it in Wei Li because I remember Zhang Wei Li, sort of struggled against Rose. Yeah, I mean, in the first fight, she obviously got knocked out. But in the second fight, there was some issues with the wrestling and the grappling. But Wei Li, that's what she worked on. She went with Cejudo, and she trained, her wrestling, her grappling, and I mean, she was able to keep up with Tatiana even on the ground. Her takedown defense was a lot better. So you just have to keep working on these areas of your game to become, like you said, a well-rounded fighter. But it was just clear there was too big of a discrepancy for Xiaonan to keep up with Jandiroba.
I kind of feel like Xiaonan is, I don't know. I feel like done is too strong of a word, but I mean, what do we want to really see her fight Wei Li again? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that fight would have very little interest.
I don't want to see that again. Make Xiaonan the gatekeeper, I suppose, but moving up, Dan Ige, TKO question mark over Sean Woodson. I'm not. I don't think this was a good call from the ref. Looked like Woodson was just standing up, and so he didn't have his hands covering his head. But he seemed okay. He seemed completely fine. I'm not sure what to make of this. Was this a bad call, Isaac?
So I have to preface this, whatever I'm about to say, with the fact that I had money on this fight to not go the distance. I had it on plus odds, and I was in sort of nervous in the third round. I had Ige winning. It was a fun fight, but I do think the stoppage was a little bit whack. I'm not gonna lie. Woodson, he was obviously stunned, but like you said, he was still standing up. I mean, I think the stoppage was a little bit early, but I mean, I was obviously happy to see it stop since I had money on the on the fight to end early. But
Maybe the ref
yeah,
played the same
do
bet.
yeah, I do think it was slightly early.
Gross.
Yeah.
Sean Woodson
Yeah,
does have a funny physique. It was,
Oh yeah, very very unique physique.
yep.
Poor guy's been getting maimed on Twitter worse than in the actual octagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as someone who had no skin in the game, financially speaking, and while I am happy that Isaac did get his money, I do think that this was a poor stoppage. Initially, when I watched it, it looked iffy but understandable because there was 15 unanswered shots. But you watch it back and it's like, okay, well, he's not rocked. He's trying to compose himself under fire, and it's like we've seen significantly worse. Like, people have been able to take a lot more damage before getting stopped. We've also seen people take more damage than that and manage to turn it around and come back and keep themselves in the fight.
Mhm.
So it is like a moment, if anything, of like, when are we going to start being consistent about these stoppages? Like, I know it's like umpires calling balls and strikes. There's an element of human subjectivity to any of these kinds of decisions, but it's like, it's not even close what's allowed to happen.
Yeah.
From ref to ref.
Yeah, this one was a little bit weird. Just like he was still up. I mean, it's not like he was, far on the ground. He couldn't stand up. I mean, Woodson was okay. So this one was, I think, a little bit clear that it was too early. And I think the ref just got it wrong, honestly.
He was in the exact motion of standing up. He was getting tagged. Let's not pretend he wasn't, but man, that was
I'm just having visions of the Ben Askren and Robbie Lawler fight when Askren took
God.
like 25 or 30 full blown, I mean, not even hammer fist, just straight punches to the dome while he was stuck on the ground, and he was allowed to continue that fight.
Yeah, this ref would have absolutely stopped that fight.
I mean, that one wouldn't be too upset about being stopped. Moving up, Dominic Reyes does not get a performance bonus for that quick knockout over Nikita Krylov. And he's pretty miffed
Oh
about
my
it.
Painfully, what the heck?
Dude, I try to say it, bro. Insane knockout. This was a super highlight knockout. I knew Reyes had it in him, but this is just it's cool to see that he's actually somewhat back. He just beat a top 10 guy. After what we saw him go through. We talked about it on the last our last discussion. Reyes has gone through a few. He's had a pretty bad skid in the past, but I feel like he's somewhat back, man. He's not that far away from a title shot. You give him one or two more fights, and he wins those. Man, he could be back. He could be back.
Especially if they're
I was very happy
explosive
to
like
see
this one.
Yeah, I was very, very happy to see that.
That was great. It wasn't like Krylov just fell on the sword and just crumbled. It was an explosive, athletic, technically sound knockout. And it was like, wow,
Yes.
that was great.
Vintage.
And that was why we fell in love with Reyes in the first place. A really intelligent, athletic striker. And I mean, Conor McGregor-esque too, on the step back kind of pull counter that he landed. That was great.
That was beauty.
And yeah.
You got Aldo with that one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Really good knockout. I am really surprised he didn't get the bonus for that because, I mean, that place erupted whenever he got the knockout. So I was sort of shocked he didn't get the performance of the night bonus.
Instead, I went to 2 submissions. Not that there's anything wrong with him, but That was a peach. And that should have been rewarded. I mean, you can give as many performance of the night bonuses as you want, can't you? Just fucking throw them out like candy on Halloween.
Yeah, man. We know the UFC is not struggling for money, so.
Yeah. Well, do you know who's struggling for air? Or struggling to get blood into their brain? John Silva submits Bryce Mitchell in the second. Fighting Nerds stay winning. Bryce Mitchell. I saw this AI thing, and I legitimately thought it was real until I went to check. But it was an AI of his, like a deep fake of him, saying that when John Silva choked me out, I astral projected, and I saw that the Earth is round. It's like, damn.
Oh, man, that's actually hilarious. That's a hilarious clip.
Yeah, damn, dude.
Dude, like coming into this fight, like I knew Silva would have the striking advantage. But, like we really haven't seen like a lot of a ground game from the Fighting Nerds. You know, Mauricio Rufy, Carlos Prates. We really haven't seen a lot of ground game, but I guess they must have like decent grappling. I mean, Bryce Mitchell is not a slouch on the ground, and Silva submitted it. Like, I mean, that is a massive way to win against Bryce Mitchell. A great win, and his. I mean, there was obviously like a lot of eyes on this fight. Silva, you know, him together with the Fighting Nerds, they all have like this momentum going forward up the rankings. Very good win for him. I mean, this is gonna set him up pretty nicely. And this was a ranked opponent, so I mean, I'm pretty sure is he in the rankings now? He's top 15.
I expect he's gonna break into it. Probably take Bryce Mitchell's spot.
Let's see. Yeah, yep. He's 11th right now.
Oh shit.
He's 11th. So yeah, he's almost top 10.
Is Mitchell still ranked, or is he out?
Nah, he's out.
Yeah.
Completely. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. Well, with all the bad blood in this fight, for it to end like that too, like there are a few other like bigger owns than beating someone else like at their own game. I mean, so massive statement there by Jean Silva.
Yeah. Very good one.
I think this is like tip of the iceberg for. We just haven't had to see how good the Fighting Nerds are on the ground yet. But I expect that they're going to be a lot better than people are expecting.
Yeah, I mean, this was a very good litmus test. I mean, Bryce Mitchell. I mean, whatever you want to say about him, he is really good on the ground.
Right.
He was hanging with the Gracie. This was a very good win. The fact that he got a submission against him, I mean, it's a very good sign. I mean, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but there's another Fighting Nerd who is going to fight somewhat soon, and he's going to have to deal with some wrestling, maybe some grappling. But it seems like Fighting Nerds may be pretty well rounded. They're not just like a purely striking team.
Fun. Moving up, Yair Rodriguez beats Patricio Pitbull by unanimous decision. Bellator stays losing. God, I was hoping that he would. Was it like that? Was it a terrible outing from Pitbull? Did he do?
I thought it was dog shit. Like,
okay,
what the hell was that game plan?
My rocker. What game plan? Fucking just go in there and think, what? I held the Bellator title. I'm gonna beat this guy. I don't have to worry about it.
Like, he fought like it was a 5-round fight. Like, someone didn't tell him, hey, you're actually fighting there for longer than or actually fighting shorter than that. Excuse me. See, I can't even remember what it was, so maybe I should cut him some slack. But yeah, it was like he fought like he had time, and he did not have time after that first round. He had to kick it into gear.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like he really came into this fight with no game plan. I mean, you know Yair is going to be throwing kicks. He's going to be pretty active, like creative striking on the feet. But I mean, I was expecting Pitbull to at least be like somewhat competitive, maybe push the pace a little bit, put Yair on the back foot. I mean, I'm not saying that Yair was always going to win, but I mean, Pitbull I thought Pitbull was going to show us something.
I
because
expected
he is a
better.
good fighter. I've seen him in Bellator. He is a good fighter. I mean, I really thought he was going to show us something, but I came away from this performance like, I mean, if you've never seen Pitbull and this is all you've seen of him, you're going to think he's sort of dog shit. Like, I mean, it's just, this performance, that's what it told us. It was not a really good outing. I mean, I think he'll probably stay in the UFC because he's still a name, but he better come out swinging in his next fight, because these are the type of performances that the UFC does not like to see.
Maybe there would have been like some kind of sick kind of like own from Dana's side where he brought over a Bellator guy and his own UFC guy wins. But now that Bellator's gone and people don't care about rivalries between promotions anymore, like what the heck? You just had a name that a new face to the promo that you could have added and marketed and potentially thrown into a title shot picture, and now it's like, well, he's well away from a title in this division.
Oh yeah, and like this is like, there is no blame on Yair. Yair was actually trying to do stuff in the fight. Like, I mean, a lot of it was just Pitbull pulling back, a lot of inactivity, like just sort of just sitting and watching Yair. So it was, I mean, I don't really blame Yair, but this was a pretty forgettable fight.
Pitbull's already come out. He put a fan poll out on who his next opponent should be. Of the 4 options, starting at the bottom, Diego Lopes, 6.6%. Aljo Sterling, 20.4%. Josh Emmett, 32%, and Dan Ige, 41%.
I would actually be okay with either Emmett or Ige.
Yeah. Those are fine.
Those are good fights.
If Pitbull fights like how he fought against Yair, against Ige and Emmett, he's getting laid out. He cannot do that. So, I mean, those are both fights that are going to force Pitbull to actually take some action.
What about Yair? I feel like the only logical, I don't know if logical is the right word, but the seeming next step is fighting Diego Lopes, just because they have friction between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm sorry, go ahead, Isaac.
Oh, I was just saying, like, there's a storyline there, and that's probably what they're gonna do. I mean, you could still put that on the UFC 320 card in Mexico. You could still do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. That fight, or that card rather, needs a good co-main, and I think that would be perfect for that.
Yeah, and like, I mean, we know that is guaranteed to be a banger. Lopez and Yair. That is, I mean, they're gonna be striking. Both of these guys, like, they're both gonna be trying to press forward. And I mean, that's just, we're gonna get like, a classic thing. So, I mean, I was about to say Mexico versus Mexico, but I mean, that's part of the friction of this fight storyline. So we'll see.
Mexikish.
Weren't they beefing about like who's, like, if Diego's actually Mexican or not? Like, there's some like racial purity.
If he's allowed to
beefing
represent
going on.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a part of the story, but I was like, I went back and listened to it. There's like some camp issues that they've been having as well. Like, apparently one of the dudes on Yair's team was like harassing this like girl in Lopez's team, and they ended. Yair claimed that Lopez and his team jumped one of Yair's campmates, like fight campmates, and they sort of busted him up a little bit. So I think that there's like genuine beef, like they've come in contact, in a fight before already. So I don't know. I feel like we'll probably learn about it a little bit more if the UFC ends up making that fight for UFC 320. Probably get a little bit of a backstory, but there could be genuine beef in that fight.
If you're like a professionally trained fighter and you're putting hands on a lady, you should get jumped. Just maybe I'm too old-fashioned about it, but
no, I mean, definitely. I want to see what the whole story was. I mean, there was a lot of things thrown around, and like it was sort of hard to understand with the echo. But hopefully, some reporter asked them to clarify what the actual situation was, because I want to get clarity on that. But I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of juice in this fight.
You know, in this age of social media, there's like been a loss of like what fighting words really mean, and so people will talk a lot of shit, and then they'll get like punched for it, and they'll be like, well, what the heck, it's just words. And it's like, no dude, like there's some things you shouldn't say if you want to keep all your teeth intact.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. I mean, bro, they were about to throw hands in that press conference.
Yeah, they looked
like
fucking
that's how serious it got. They were both about to throw hands.
Anything more for Yair? All right, Paddy Pimblett. I brought out a nice spread of humble pie to be served with some crow and some runny eggs, because we were all talking a lot of shit about Paddy Pimblett. Can this man be denied?
I don't think this podcast, or me specifically anyway, has ever been more wrong about a fight ever.
That hot clip I was talking about when we first started, that was us talking about Chandler beating the shit out of Paddy Pimblett the whole time.
I will say it because I was partaking, but I will apologize for our team. We got this one wrong, man. Paddy proved us wrong.
Big time.
Michael Chandler is a bum. This dude is a bum. I thought, he's obviously lost a lot of fights in the UFC, but I thought this would be the one that he wins. But, I mean, I'll say it now. I mean, Paddy is actually decent. He showed, like, some genuine skill in this fight. It seems like he's taking this a little bit more seriously than before. But, man, Chandler looked sort of terrible in this fight. And that 2-year layoff that he had waiting for McGregor just did not help him at all.
And I'm kind of reconsidering about Chandler. The things we've said about him most constantly is like, well, he used to fight intelligently, but now he just wants to, have a fireworks show. He wants to go out with a bang. But after that fight, maybe he's just genuinely like a low IQ fighter. Because why would you go to the ground with Paddy Pimblett?
Yeah,
when he's
the same thing.
He's better than you on the ground.
And, he's got Bobby Green IQ.
He is and just before the show we were talking about, how Paddy's back to being Paddy the Fatty, right? He's already 180 or 198 pounds, like 8 days after the fight. But like, that guy is so much bigger than most of the people at lightweight, right? And he's really, really good at grappling. If nothing else, he's really good at that. Why would you shoot a takedown against a guy like that?
I'll show them. I'll show everyone. I'm better than Paddy Pimblett at his best thing.
Yeah. Chandler was trying to do what Silva did against Bryce Mitchell, and it did not work out. Yeah. Yeah. This was really bad, comically bad, honestly. It was sort of funny to watch as it unfolded.
And I will actually compliment Paddy's striking, which he hasn't really shown much, if any, of, but he's definitely been working on it. And even though like his chin is still very exposed, like were he to fight someone like Islam next, like he'd probably get chinned. But one of the things I like about the striking he showed is that he doesn't make the mistake that most MMA fighters do and just massively overextend or explode way too far and leave themselves open. Like every strike he threw was measured. It was like tight and compact.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot of wasted movement in any of that. And there's plenty of defensive holes he'll need to fix if he want to keep moving up the rankings. But like, if that's the direction he's going, like he's on the right track. Like that is where you should start, right?
Yeah, I mean this version of Paddy looks completely different from the version that we saw that took on Jared Gordon and Tony Ferguson. In those fights, Paddy Pimblett was doing what you just described, overextending on strikes. But I mean, it seems like, I think he's just taking this game a little bit more seriously now. I mean, I know he said it like on the Embedded that, he's had children now, so it's like he has like a better reason to fight, and he's been training harder, like, genuinely paying attention, like learning the game. And just like, I mean, it seems like he's sort of evolving as a fighter keeping his shots more compact, maybe like slightly more defensively responsible. But I mean, Patty is improving. I don't know where he can end up, but this is not the same Paddy Pimblett that we saw, against those previous fighters. It's not even the same one that we saw against. I was gonna say against King Green, but I guess that fight didn't really last long enough for us to see that much. Yeah, I mean, he's gotten better though. That is for 100% sure. He's gotten better. This is a very good win for Paddy Pimblett.
Now, this sounds like somebody trying to work themselves into a fight here, but Colby Covington, still referring to him as Bitch Boy Patty, says he'll never be a champion.
My God.
Dude,
I'm at the point now. Colby Covington may get done dirty by Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, I think so.
He may get done dirty.
He's been out for a minute, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, his recent fights have not been good. I just looked up. Paddy Pimblett is ranked number 8 right now in the lightweight division. So, and that was a pretty big jump up for Paddy.
Dustin Poirier suggests that Dan Hooker would be the next best opponent for Paddy Pimblett. Makes sense to me. He's up 2 in the rankings at 6.
That would be fun. Yeah.
But Dustin said something in that where he suggested Dan Hooker. He said something that really resonated with me, and it was like how I used to doubt him constantly, but now he's proved me wrong every time. I can't deny Paddy Pimblett is the real deal anymore. And I agree with him. I've always thought Paddy was a bit of a joke, but he's clearly not.
Yeah, I mean, like, I still think the top guys like White Paddy, like Islam. I cannot imagine a world where Paddy Pimblett beats Islam Makhachev. I just, even with the performance we just saw, I cannot imagine that. But I mean, I could see him beating a Dan Hooker. I could see that.
Yeah. The Eagle Scouts have suggested that Paddy, we mentioned this up top, that Paddy is worthy of a title shot right now. This has to be trolling. This is fucking trolling.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, this is
Islam fans trying to get him another lightweight win so they can justify him not fighting a featherweight. We can't have him fighting a featherweight, guys. That delegitimizes his title. But he beat an elite lightweight in Paddy Pimblett, so we're gonna move him up now and not fight Topuria. By the way.
Oh, that's right. He's talking about moving up.
No, it should not be Paddy. That is
absolutely not.
Yeah, I think that would be genuinely insane if the UFC went that route.
Michael Chandler says that his future is still bright. I don't know how I feel about that, buddy.
Chandler may be one of the most delusional fighters at the moment, and that's even considering like Bryce Mitchell. Like it's sort of insane that like how badly Michael Chandler has managed his career. I mean, this 2-year layoff that he had, waiting for McGregor, it had to affect him. I mean, he's wasted. He could have had like 2 fights in that time. I mean, it's
at least 2.
It's just sort of insane. Yeah, I mean, he sort of wasted his own career, and I can't do anything but really like laugh. I mean, at this statement saying the future is still bright. Who's he gonna fight next? Yeah, like who are they gonna match him up with?
He's down to number 12.
Yeah, I mean, is he gonna be fighting Grant Dawson? I mean, what are we doing?
You know who he reminds me of, and really his mentality, like totally matches it. If you guys are familiar with NFL football, is Russell Wilson. Like,
oh my God,
optimistic to a fault. Like at some point, like if you're a fighter and you suffer multiple bad losses, like you kind of have to go to a dark place to come out of that and reform yourself as a fighter. If everything's great, and sunshine and rainbows, and it's like everything's good. Where's the drive and the fire to improve? Because that's what this sport requires at the end of the day. Is like you need to you have to want it. Like, I know it's cliche to say, the other team won because they wanted it more, but that's I think truer in combat sports than most other sports.
Yeah, it's an individual versus another individual, and you have to want it more than them. Obviously, training and all the rest of it, but hunger is fucking serious.
Yeah, that is such a great comparison, bro. Like, immediately as soon as you said that, I just envisioned Michael Chandler. UFC Nation, let's ride.
Nice.
I mean, that's something I could see him saying as well. Michael Chandler thinks that, just saying these motivational quotes in his head is enough to stay at the elite level. It's really not.
Well, maybe the future wasn't bright because of his UFC prospects. Maybe it was because he just signed some more adoption papers with his wife.
What's the count up to now?
He's got 3 now.
It would be 3 at that point. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anything more for Patty Pimblett, Michael Chandler? All right. Alexander Volkanovski. This time I'm eating crow alone. Volkanovski does more than enough, to reclaim the throne. Diego Lopes, he was okay, but it seemed like the experience gap was there. It started showing like rounds 4 and 5, just kind of like we called. But there was also some good spots for Volkanovski throughout that secured him. What would you say, 4-1? Is that
4-1, 3-2 at worst?
Yeah, 3-2.
I think I had it 4-1.
Yeah, I had 4-1. But yeah, Diego Lopes. This isn't the end for him, but first Volkanovski gets his flowers. Excellent.
Yeah,
very excellent.
I was wrong. I believe Nathan is probably the only one out of us that got it right. But yeah, man. I mean, this was not like the Yair and Pitbull fight. Lopez didn't look ass. I mean, he was trying. Volkanovski even gave him his props afterwards, saying that he's going to be back. He's going to be back fighting for the title, somewhat soon. I mean, maybe not against Volkanovski, but he's going to be back eventually. Because Lopez had moments. I mean, he knocked down Volkanovski. What was it, in the second round?
Yeah.
He had knocked him down. There was some good exchanges that he got, but he's not experienced enough. Volkanovski is a generational fighter. He showed out, man. I mean, and dude, any questions we had about his chin, dude, he ate punches. 100%. He ate punches.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still alive.
Nathan put it well with, we're going to find out is Volkanovski's chin cracked, or is a head kick from Islam I can count on one hand how many fighters could take that and keep going. And then how fucking powerful is Topuria really? But,
Yeah. And I think the other answer we got out of Lopez was about his gas tank. So at no part of this fight did I think Diego was completely, totally gassed, right? He was still throwing haymakers up until the final bell, but he was just getting totally outclassed. And, that's the greatest strength Volk has, is that ability. If you give him time and you give him not just give him a full camp, but his preparation is second to none. He knows exactly where your weak points are and how to exploit them, and he's got a game plan prepared to deal with that. And Lopez, he tried, but there's not much you can do in the face of that, right? I mean, his power was basically got him back into the fight at the end of the second round, but that was very short-lived. Just the difference in timing, the difference in speed, in those short pocket exchanges where it matters, it was all Volk.
Yeah, I mean, it was just super clear that there was a massive difference in simply IQ, experience. I mean, Lopez, it's not he, he was trying to win. He was trying like a bunch of different shit, but Volkanovski has been in that octagon so many times in title fights that he like Lopez didn't offer anything new to Volkanovski. Like there was just nothing that Volkanovski hasn't seen. I mean, it was just insane to see. I mean, Volkanovski, he's just a legend. He's just a legend. I mean, I think there's real arguments that he could be the best featherweight of all time. I know Aldo probably still number one, but I mean, Volkanovski's really, really closing that gap.
Yeah, I mean, if we fast forward a year and he has 2 more successful title defenses,
Yeah.
right, and like a second reign truly has begun, it wasn't just a one-off, then I think we're definitely talking about the best featherweight to ever exist.
I mean, not even just too much. I mean, dude, if he beats Mosfar, bro,
That's who he's calling for.
That could honestly be enough. I mean, Evloev, I mean, he's undefeated. I mean, he's on a sort of a crazy winning streak at the moment. No one wants to fight him. This elite grappler. I mean, if Volkanovski beats him, I think people are going to have to start having discussions about Volkanovski being the best featherweight of all time.
Why would you want to fight Evloev? He says it's for the legacy.
Because he's a fucking dog. That's why.
No one wants to fight him. No one wants to fight
I see.
Evloev. No one wants to fight him.
Volk has also been like really embodied like the champion's mentality of like, I'm the champion, I'm defending the belt against whoever is up next. That's why he took the Topuria fight when he did, was like, hey, next up. I'm not avoiding that. Now he paid for that in the speed with which he took that fight. But nonetheless, I mean, that's been his mentality the whole time. And so, I mean, if you look at the rankings, Holloway is still in the featherweight rankings, even though he's never coming back. Topuria is in the rankings, even though he's, well, probably never coming back. I don't think he will. He'll probably stay at lightweight. And so, really, it should be Movsar, your number one contender, and then probably Yair after that.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
afterwards.
just mean in the rankings today, but afterwards, like if Yair were to win his next fight, he would probably get a rematch with Volk. I think that would be earned.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, honestly, after, like, if Volkanovski beats Evloev, I mean, he could honestly retire, and I don't think anyone would complain. I mean, because he's beat Yair already. He's beat Lopez. He's beat Ortega. I mean, Allen is maybe the only other name there that he would need to fight. But, I mean, I don't think anyone would be upset if Volkanovski retired after Evloev.
No,
But,
I certainly wouldn't. I think that
It
would.
just doesn't really seem like it's in his blood, though. I feel like Volkanovski probably stayed, a little bit. He might stay, honestly, until he loses again.
You think that'll be when he hangs it up?
It just seems like he really enjoys doing this. He really enjoys like fighting, being a champion, consistently like working on his craft. So I mean, I could see him staying for 2-3 more fights. It's just, I mean, who would you match him up against? But I could see him staying.
You know what actually could be in the cards is if Islam truly does vacate and go up to welterweight, and lightweight gets thrown into flux. What's stopping Volk from going up to lightweight and rematching Topuria there?
Oh,
Like
shit.
he would do it if the UFC gave him the shot. He would totally do it.
How miffed
He
would they
would.
all be, though? 2 featherweights fighting for the vacant title?
That would be weird, but I think it would be contingent on Topuria having, won the belt
Oh,
first,
I see.
right?
Yeah, they would do it if that was the case. But I mean, you're right. Volkanovski would do it. That would be a really big rematch. I mean, I don't think that goes too well for Volkanovski just because it's at a bigger weight. Topuria
Probably
would
not.
have to weight cut. But I mean, we know he would do that. Like that. That's just in Volkanovski's DNA. He would absolutely do that.
He's the fucking man.
Yeah, I mean, this dude's a legend.
He is.
He's a goat.
I'm finally appreciating the way you guys talk about him. I got to see it for myself for the first time, because previously I saw him fight Topuria, Islam, and yeah, not his best outings. But this was special. This was really cool.
Yeah, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, I think he beats Mosfar. I think he beats him. So I mean, there's potential. I mean, and honestly, we're in April right now. We could see that fight August maybe. I mean, we know Volkanovski likes to fight pretty quickly, barring any injuries. So we could see that fight, maybe even like in the third quarter of this year.
Well, now I'm excited for more chicken sandwich recipe videos. Now that he's go on.
I was gonna say, did we talk about the whole cooking with Volk thing last time? Do we mention that at all?
I mentioned it like briefly.
Well, apparently there are people who like that little Instagram reel series so much, and they don't even realize that he's the UFC guy. Like, he's captured a completely different audience with that.
Could you imagine not knowing that this is like one of the baddest people
on the planet?
And like,
then all of a sudden, after
porterhouse steak,
the first video back after last Saturday, and everyone's like, "Congrats, champ!" And it's like, what did he do?
Yeah, champ.
yeah,
what?
Yeah.
There was a clip just like that I saw. It was of Mikey Musumeci, and he said something really corny, but so it got cut. It cut to some other guy saying, like, that fucking nerd that you just saw, that cringe-worthy nerd, he would whoop your ass. I don't give a shit how tall or how big you are. He would beat your ass in a fight, one-on-one. Yeah.
You know what it would be like? This may be a test of y'all's internet age. It would be like if you were a fan of Joji's music, and then you found out that afterwards that he was Filthy Frank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
This is Pink Guy?
Yeah, that's who that pink guy is? What?
This is him?
Anything more for 314?
I actually enjoyed the card.
It was a fantastic card.
That was actually money well spent.
Yeah. All right. Hey, did you know that our little bee buddies are having a bit of a tough time recently? They're really important for so much of our food. Without any bees, we're going to have a lot less yummy stuff. The good news is that you can help the bees while also helping us. Support for this episode is from Project Honeybees. Every purchase adopts a queen bee, who will have her own colony if she doesn't already have one, and she'll be kept in a sanctuary in various places around the world. My adopted queen, who I named Queen Spider, she was found in a restaurant trash bin out back, but the name Queen Spider, that's a story for another time. So if you want to be a bee hero, would that be Beero? Check out bees.lvx.be and get a look at all the lovely gift ideas. There's bracelets, necklaces, earrings, a lot of jewelry stuff. Use code LEO33862 at checkout to help keep the bees buzzing. Buzz, motherfuckers. Fucking moving on. Just one card to preview. Do we want to go through the whole thing? Like, I could just cherry pick around.
There's a few good fights on here.
Yeah.
As far as this is not like an Apex card, so they made sure to put some names on.
Yeah. First,
so
the top five is actually not bad. This is a solid fight card.
It's a very good card. Yeah, it's a very good card for a fight night.
So I'll just cap off the prelims here with Matt Schnell and Jimmy Flick at flyweight. So that should be fun. Oh, Damon Blackshear. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's some names.
Starting the main portion, Randy Brown, Nicholas Dalby at welterweight, Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz at middle, Michel Pereira, 14th at middleweight versus Abus Magomedov. Done with that. Giga Chikadze, 11th at feather versus David Onama. Why are you still doing this, bro? Anthony Smith, 15th at light heavyweight versus Zhang Mingyang.
I think they said
Ming Yang's gonna kill Smith.
Yeah,
man. This is not a good. This is a poor matchup for Smith.
They said that this is gonna be his retirement fight too, so they're gonna send him out on a knockout.
Oh no!
Don't do that to him.
Yeah.
Come on, they could have done better, but got to tap out whatever fame or whatever name value they can still get out of him.
God, he's a minus 500 favorite. Jeez.
People don't know who Ming Yang is.
Wow.
That's really it. He's been brutal in his last fights that I've seen.
Wait. Hold on, wait a minute. Anthony Smith is a plus or a minus 500 favorite?
That's right.
No, Zhang.
Oh shit! I thought you said.
I was like,
I misheard you as well.
oh my god, I'm flying to Vegas now. Like, we're putting the house on this guy.
Nathan was about to put the house on Zhang.
Yeah, I absolutely would have too.
Yeah, no. Dude, Vegas thinks Anthony Smith is going to get ragdolled. They think he's going to get touched up real bad, which is probably what's going to happen. He looks so bad against Reyes, man. It's actually insane.
And in the main event, Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates, 7th and 13th at welterweight.
Dude, what a big boy step up by Ian Gary, right? So this was not the original main event, but it became that when Prates was supposed to fight Jeff Neal on 313 or 314, right?
Yes.
And so Jeff Neal pulls out, and Gary says, "Yeah, I'll fight this guy." He's fighting down in the rankings, but I mean, we've been pretty high on Prates for the last few months. Like, this guy's legit. So I mean, hell of a statement for him to be like, "Yeah, I'll take that risk. I don't care."
Do you guys know, like, have you guys ever seen South Park? You know who Randy is?
The dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys stands there. You know the meme where, like, Randy's walking around with his balls, like, in the
Yeah.
In the wheelbarrow.
That is scary, man. Yeah, because this is like, I mean, this is on somewhat short notice. Prates was gonna fight Jeff Neal. Ian Gary steps in to fight him a couple weeks later. This is like a big boy fight. I mean, Prates, you know, obviously he's lower ranked, like we said, but he has legitimate power. He skimmed, Neil Magny's head and, you know, knocked him out. So, I mean, Prates, I mean, we've seen John Silva had a legit ground game against Bryce Mitchell. If he has comparable ground game, I mean, it could pose, you know, an issue to Ian Gary. But one thing's for sure, like, if Prates is able to land on Gary, it could spell trouble. But this is fantastic matchup. I mean, you can look at the odds. Ian Gary is a minus 130 favorite. You know, I mean, it's basically flip them. Prates is plus 110. I mean, this is a great matchup. Super, super good matchup. I think we're gonna see some fun on the feet. Ian Gary's gonna try to mix it up a little bit on the ground, but it should be a very fun fight to see and a really good main event to top off this card.
Another test to see if the fighting nerds are legit on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, oh my god, dude! If Prates wins this fight, fighting nerds I think are gonna be like 20 wins, 0 losses. The momentum that they would have is insane. I think it would they'd probably already secured like gym of the year or like fighting group of the year.
A guy who has Muay Thai tattooed across his chest is not somebody I would want to stand up with.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see people tested here. I can tell you that for sure. Ian Gary, he is legit. I mean, we learned that in the Shavkat fight. He is legit. Really well-rounded fighter. We know he can strike. Nasty at range as well. Like, I think that's probably what's going to try to keep the fight either there or on the ground. But, and I'm really excited for this fight. Really, really excited.
What are the size differences? 6'3" to 6'1". Gary to Prates. 74.5 hands. 78 in reach.
Prates has a decent reach advantage. Yeah.
Goddamn gorilla arms.
Long gas arms. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Oof, I'm excited. This is actually a pretty good. And you know what's the only thing on the other side of the street going on is fucking Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank.
Dude, I'm not even gonna be able to see that fight actually because it's in the UK, so it's gonna be earlier. I'm gonna be at the movies, but I will catch this fight.
I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna watch it.
It's a UK spec.
Yeah, it's a UK thing for sure. This, on the other hand, this is a good card.
This is big boy shit.
Yep.
This is what this is.
I think if depending on how they look, but if it goes the way that I imagine it going, regardless of who wins, they should both. Well, Gary should not drop too far if he loses. He should move up maybe one if he wins, just because I think Pratesh is that guy. And if Pratesh wins, he's going to move up to like 7 or 8, probably.
If Pratesh wins, I think he's legitimately only like one fight away from a title shot. Because Ian Gary, he had a pretty close contest with Shavkat, but I don't know, welterweight is sort of starting to get clogged, especially when you consider like Islam wants to like insert himself. So welterweight's sort of going to be confusing, I feel like, after the JDM and Bilal fight in Canada. But we'll see. Regardless, this fight is a good step in the right direction.
Anything more for the fight night card?
I might.
All right. You've been listening to the Ultimate FN Casuals, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you need to let us know how terrible you think our takes are, you can duck us and text the anonymous line at 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on your business, send a voice message or send a voice note in WhatsApp, and we'll see if you're interesting enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUXPODS. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, all the rest of that bullshit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. Patreon is where you can go to get ad-free episodes and other behind-the-scenes exclusives while directly supporting what we do. LVX Media Net over there, just like everywhere else. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out if you check out our ad sponsors. You can also help by giving us a rating and a review on whatever app you're listening on. And last but not least, you can also check out the merch shop. New stuff goes up all the time. Metal intros by Anders Janhunen. The trap intro and the outro are by Middle of Nowhere Beats. And for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. So we're heading into a pretty solid fight night weekend. Parting words.
Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. The king is back.
I just want to say I made my money on the Dan Ige Sean Woodson fight, but it was bullshit. But every once in a while we take these. And good fights are on the way.
Would another good one for today be like Wake Up, the new Lord just dropped?
New Lord just dropped.
Yes, day
John
3.
Silver, yeah.
New Lord just dropped. But that's it. Ultimate fucking Casuals. We're out of here. See you on the other side.
Yep. See.
Peace.